Sales National Football Show. Gary Cobb, bottom of the hour. We're going to finish up here all the needs of the teams in the National Football League as we get ready for the draft 24 days out. Look at the Browns, man. They have to they had to pay Deshaun Watson $169 million of his giant contract that was held in escrow this past Friday, and they didn't want to divulge whether they did it or not. Why? Aren't you proud of your guy? Or is that more for people not to know, or that the owners don't want that out? Who do you think that's for? The owners don't want you to know that here's $170 million that was held in escrow for him, part of that contract. Because why? Do you think that's because of Tom, Dick, and Harry, NFL fan? Or do you think that's because the owners don't want that contract and the particulars of that contract public? You know why they don't? I'll give you a couple reasons. Ready? Herbert, Burrow, Jackson, Hurts. You think they give a shit whether we think that the guy in Cleveland got $170 million? Me and you, that might as well be monopoly money. They're not doing that because you and me are going to go, whoa, can you believe that? Unbelievable. Can you believe that? He got $170 million. Here's why. That guy just got paid in an escrow more money than what Jalen Hurts will get paid in guaranteed money. And that was just part of the contract that they owe him. If you're Jalen Hurts and you're Clutch Sports or you're Herbert or Burrow, aren't you doing this? Wait, whoa. That's not even a signing bonus. That ain't even a signing bonus. That's part of the contract that was put in escrow. Okay. Jalen Hurts is not going to get $170 million in guaranteed money. This guy just got paid $170 on Friday afternoon on his way into watching the Final Four with his boys at a bar in Cleveland. You and me sitting there. Yeah, they held out the particulars and they didn't want to comment whether they did it or not to the public. To the public? Yeah, the owners don't want that. They don't want that. Hey, if they could do this with that contract that Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, put together for Deshaun Watson, if they could have a non-disclosure agreement on that thing, they would. They would, man. Don't you think every agent, and by the way, gets certified to be an agent in National Football League and NFL Players Association? They show the agents those deals. Jalen Hurts ain't getting $170 million guaranteed, but Deshaun Watson got $170 million in escrow on Friday. Part of the deal. Not even counting that's not even his base pay starting in September. Oh, he's going to get $40 million. This is crazy. Crazy money. Hurts has to be doing, man. Didn't this guy get a escrow payment that was more than what Dak signed for? Man, you're a quarterback. Hey, you're Joe Burrow. Tell me you're not doing this. What is up with that? So wait a minute. Are you going to try to tell me that Deshaun Watson is going to be a higher paid quarterback in the state of Ohio than me? Yeah. He'll go, well, I'll have a higher base. Deshaun could turn back and go, yeah, but I'm getting all mine. Are you? I don't know. Dude, that's big money, man. Joe Burrow, he's got it. And then, by the way, he's talking to, like, you know the guy who used to do those old paint jobs on cars, Earl Scheib? Earl Scheib, I think, like, doubles as Mike Brown, the owner of the Bengals. Hey, come in here, man. You got a $30 paint job for your car. We'll make it just right. We'll make that bad puppy look just as good as new. It's a $30 paint job. I'm going to have a $30 paint job on my BMW just as good as new. Yeah. Dude, you're Howie Roseman. Dude, you don't want that noise out there. Deshaun Watson just got $170 million Friday. Well, it was a bonus, right? No, it was part of the contract. What? Cash money. Dude, that's a guy that should have that. That's a guy that should have that T-shirt. Cash money, baby. Holy cow. Happy Easter to you. Man, I saw that you notice, too, it was like not even really reported that he got that money. He had to really look for it. I was like, man, Watson. And so I talked to a couple agents. I'm like, so that was his signing bonus? He goes, no, that was a percentage of the contract that they promised in the structuring of the deal that he would get that money. They put it in escrow, and now he got it March 31st. It's not even the signing bonus. It's kind of some of the sign. Well, because there's really kind of no signing bonus because the whole thing's guaranteed. Oh, yeah, Greasy. There's no quarterback, in my opinion, that's under more heat. But guess what Deshaun Watson can say? Hey, man, whether I play good or not, I'm going to treat your ass like Kyrie Irving treats the Dallas Mavericks, the Brooklyn Nets, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't have to listen to you. I don't give a shit. I'll do what I want, and my contract's fully guaranteed. I don't owe you any explanation. You see, that's how the NFL owners keep you in tow. Because when you sign a 7-year contract like Jalen's going to sign, how many of those contracts you ever see quarterbacks fulfill before they're either traded or cut? That's Derek Carr, how that deal worked out for him with the Raiders. Right? Ask him how that worked out. What happened? Well, I didn't get the back end of that contract. Why? Because it's not guaranteed. Deshaun could basically just do this. I don't give a shit what you think. My $230, you paid me. See, in theory, Cleveland paid Deshaun Watson $230 million to go play in Cleveland because nobody would have went to Cleveland. But for $230 million, anybody would have went to Cleveland. That's why when people were going like this, hey, maybe he'll play in Atlanta. Hey, maybe he'll play in Philly. Hey, maybe he'll play. Man, whoever gave him the biggest bag of money is where he was going. Remember what that one dude from Houston came on our program and said he'll never go to Cleveland. 2 days later, he was in Cleveland. Yeah, why? Because Haslam got on his airplane. And this is even after they picked up the extension of $18 million for Mayfield. They picked the $18 million up on Mayfield, then flew down and said, here's $230. Do you think Watson wants to win? I do. I like Deshaun, man. He's a star player. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to have a lot of pressure on his ass. He's got to play, man. Trust me when I tell you, just like Roethlisberger's bullshit in Pittsburgh. He wins them a Super Bowl or he wins them an AFC championship. Nobody in Cleveland will remember any of that other stuff. That stuff will all go away. You think in Baltimore they remember Ray Lewis was involved in a murder case? In Baltimore, do you think they care? You think anybody in Baltimore cares Ray Lewis was involved in a murder case? Do you? Or do you think the 2 Super Bowls he helped them win? Don't you think that erased all that? Remember something. What's it to you? Who cares? Okay, we're not moralists here. We're football fans. You know, I mean, that's how it works. Winning covers that stuff. It's not about right and wrong. Nobody's inviting these people over to your home or asking you to take your daughter out on a date or your daughter marry them or your son. That's not what this is a conversation about. That's what people get. It sometimes blows my mind. You care more about the stupidest shit on the planet. We're fans. That's all we are. We're fans. We pay the bills. Show up and play and win. Al Davis's old mantra. Athletes aren't idols to me. They never have been. My grandfather, my priest, people that were my aunt, people like that, my coaches, people that were important to me were my idols. Football players are like SpongeBob. They're cartoon characters on TV. How could they be idols? Unless you have a personal relationship with these men. How is that possible? That's why I never weighed into that. I never looked at a guy that I didn't know, called him something or called him an idol. Hey, did I want to play like Randy White or did I want to play like Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White? Sure. Be them? I don't know them. Yeah, Jack, a priest, Father Bob, who was my father and married me and my wife. And by the way, he was the priest that informed all the parents who lost their children at Newtown. And so he is a pretty important person in my life. And Father Robert Weiss is one of the absolutely greatest men that I've ever known. And he's still my priest to this day. He married me and my wife, and he was my priest at Stanford Catholic High School. Priest, yes. And now he's a Monsignor. Okay? At the Archdiocesan Bishop, or in Bridgeport. Out of Pittsburgh, I know that guy, Eagle Way. Dude, tell you something. Pittsburgh puts out a ton of great athletes. Okay? Put out a ton of great athletes. Okay? Ton of great athletes. Let me get back into here. Again, we went through the NFC East a little bit. Gary Cobb will be with us at the bottom of the hour. 32 teams and 32 needs. I said this about the Eagles, and this is what Bledsoe has down. And running back, O-line, D-line, and safety. Let's go through the teams here now as we get ready for the draft. And by the way, this will tell you a little bit more so on what players may be available at 10 or 30, or maybe you want to trade down or out. Okay? Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. O-line, D-line, defensive back. They got a linebacker in Kaiser who played in Philly. I think those are the needs. They need O-line, D-line. Imagine this. Here's the complete difference between the Cardinals and the Eagles on why the Eagles win and the Cardinals never win. You ready? When you're an organization, there's three things you can't need. Quarterback, O-line, D-line. Eagles have that covered. The rest of it is filling in the blank. That's why they win more than Arizona. Arizona is constantly in need of O-line, D-line. You know why? Because they can't evaluate those positions. They can't. Falcons, look at this laundry list. I'm sorry, the kid they got down there now, that kid Desmond Ridder, whatever. You think he's good? You're going nowhere with him. Quarterback, O-line, Jesus criminy, you're already in trouble. Wide receiver, defensive end, linebacker. Can you have any more of the premium positions in need? O-line, probably left tackle, quarterback, and wide receiver. 3 premium positions that you need help on. Arizona too, right? D-line and corner. I mean, talk about premium positions. Okay? Ravens. All contingent on the quarterback not being there. Wide receiver. Isn't that always the theme there, though? D-line can't stop anybody. And corner. So wait a minute. A premium position. A premium position. That's another good thing about the Eagle needs. Running back is not a premium position, but there's a premium player there. And O-line, D-line. O-line, D-line, they're talking depth. They're talking depth. Not starters, depth at both positions in Philly. Safety is a need, but it's not a premium position. That's why Gardner Johnson didn't get the $10 million or the $8 million that he wanted in Philly. Howie wasn't going to pay $20 million for a defensive tackle, and he wasn't going to pay $8 million or $6 million, whatever it was, for Gardner Johnson at safety. He wasn't. That's why he turned around and Slay takes the haircut. He gives him more money up front, and he did take a haircut. Well, I think Tone and I figured out he took a $3.5 million haircut, did Slay, per season. That's significant. And the reason they gave him the upfront money, that's what Rosenhaus wanted, because you think that guy's on the team next year at 33. Good luck to you. That's why they got the upfront money. Plus, you defer that out, and you got less of a cap hit next year. Smart. And in the open market, he's not getting 14. We talked about it. Stephon Gilmore didn't get 14. They're the same age, and Stephon Gilmore's had a better career. Gilmore, 2019, was the Defensive Player of the Year. Enough with that. Here's the Bills. This is an important need. RB, O-line, wide receiver, safety, DE.